everyone. I would like to welcome you all to the March 16th meeting of the Newmarket Town Council, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have more visitors tonight than we've had in a very long time, so it's very exciting. The first item on our agenda is for public comment. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak this evening? Seeing none, I will close public comment at 7:01. The next item is for the acceptance of minutes, and we have one meeting to accept, and that is from March 2nd, 2022, and I would accept a motion to approve those minutes.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes for the March 2022 Town Council meeting.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments or changes? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Braybeck?
Aye.
Councilor Kuiper?
Aye.
Councilor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Conley?
Aye.
Councilor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And the next item that we have is,
Yep.
Okay, just checking, is for the dedication of our annual town report. And this year, the town report is dedicated to Kyle True. And I'm going to read a statement. I'm going to try and project my voice. And so this is the statement that's in the annual report. The town of Newmarket is proud to dedicate the 2021 town report to retired Chief of Police Kyle True. Kyle began his 28-year law enforcement career as a patrol officer in Center Harbor, New Hampshire in 1993 and came to Newmarket in July 1997. He was promoted to the rank of Master Officer in 1999 and was transferred to the Detective Division. In 2005, he was promoted to the rank of Lieutenant, where he served as the Division Commander for the Support Services Division within the Police Department. In 2016, he was named Interim Chief of Police before being named Chief of Police in September 2016. As Master Detective, he served on the New Hampshire Attorney General's Drug Task Force, working nearly 6 years undercover on drug cases throughout the state and the country, and received numerous awards from the U.S. Organized Crime Task Force. He was named Newmarket Police Officer of the Year in 2004. He worked with the Child Advocacy Center to assist young victims of sexual assaults. He was recognized at the 6th Annual Champions for Children Awards ceremony. He led an effort to infuse the police department with more diversity. He also worked in unison with the Newmarket Community Church to form the Newmarket Alliance of Substance Abuse Prevention. Kyle served the Newmarket community with equal measures of pride and respect and was a recognized and trusted figure within the town of Newmarket. Those who worked with him were honored to do so. His professionalism and commitment to the town will have positive effects for many years to come. Kyle, I don't know if you had anything that you wanted to say. I would offer that.
This should only takes about 30 minutes, guys. So.
Yeah.
First off, thank you very much. It's really an honor to accept this. I've worked here nearly half my life, and I look back at past recipients of this dedication, and I think of names like Kevin Sear and Paul Gahan and Maddie St. Hilaire, Leo Fillion, who I think drilled the first well in the town of Newmarket, Jim Hilton, Ed Pelzer, just great people. And I'm honored to be in that selection today. So thank you very much. It was an honor to serve this community. And Chief Jordan, you have something to look forward to now. But again, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it sincerely. Thank you. And thanks the officers for coming tonight. It was a surprise, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item that we have, so we have two counselors who have served their terms here on the Newmarket Town Council. And thanks, guys. Right? Feeling much less safe.
You're losing them.
Right? Thank you. So we have two counselors who served their terms here on the council, and we are, as always, incredibly appreciative of anyone who volunteers their time to any committee in Newmarket. And I think that I've talked to a couple of people recently who might be coming onto the council, and I don't sugarcoat things anymore. It's a lot of work, and I've learned not to sugarcoat because I think that it's a big responsibility, and we've been so lucky to have people like John and Helen serve our community. So I will start with, because yours is on top, I'm going to start with Helen Sanders. And we have this to present to you. So, I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but it's a clock. I think, the time that you have served our community. So,
It was my pleasure.
thank you. And I will offer you the opportunity to say anything if you would like it, and if not.
Keep it very short.
Okay.
It's my home for 20 years. I miss it already. And I thank you. And it was my privilege and my honor to run the town council.
Thank you, Helen. And then to John Kuiper.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
No
for
worries.
everything that you've done.
Thank you.
Here, I'm going to shake your hand. And I don't know if you want to.
Sure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to serve the people of Newmarket, and I've learned a lot about our town and how municipal government works. I learned a lot about how municipal government works. Definitely from Tony and Steve, taught me a lot, as well as other people on the council, and I have a profound respect for wastewater treatment. I will say. And I don't know if you hear this enough, but I love the water here. I think the water tastes very good, and it's funny that I know that our wastewater treatment plant is one of the best in the state, because I've been on this board, and I randomly was telling somebody that at Crack Skulls. I was like, we actually have one of the best wastewater treatment plants, and they were kind of looking at me like, and I was like, no, really, you got to listen to me about the wastewater treatment plant and the scuba divers. So, but yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and I will probably be back here at some point on this dais, on some committee or other, I'm sure. So thank you again.
Thank you. Okay. And the next item that we have is the town manager's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To begin, I will give a COVID-19 and vaccination update. As of March 9th, there are 5 active cases of COVID in the town of Newmarket. Please note that this is the minimum amount that we have that we can no longer report the cases in town. We have not seen numbers this low since last summer. In January, we had a high of 121 reported cases. That's when people were doing home testing. We've had a total of 1,634 cases, or 17.2% of the population that have had COVID. I did want to update this part because it's kind of significant for our health region in Rockham County. We're no longer at substantial levels, but at moderate levels of transmission. We've seen health region has only seen an increase of 2.7%, and that is down 3% over the last one, and the county itself is higher at 3.2%, but understand that we're also talking about the 93 corridor with Salem. The Department of Health and Human Services announced that they'll be closing all state-run testing sites yesterday, and people who still want to be tested may still do so by obtaining a home test or visiting a health professional. And the governor announced today that all state-run vaccination sites will be shut down by the end of the month as well. Tomorrow is our last weekly call from Homeland Security, which started out as a twice daily call from Homeland Security about the updates on the pandemic. I'm sorry, it's not weekly now, it's monthly. So on that note, this would probably be my last COVID-19 report unless there's a flare-up, knock on wood, as well. So this has been going on for over 2 years. This is probably about time the anniversary for 2 years, reporting on it. But with the numbers where they are and the drop in the community transmission and the availability of vaccinations for those who want to be vaccinated, we are seeing the rapid decline in the cases and the pivot from pandemic to endemic, as we're starting to hear. So is it going to go away forever? No. Is you going to see new versions of it? Yes, much like you do the flu or other situations. But now unlike in 2020, we didn't know what we're fighting and didn't have the tools. We have the tools, and we can pivot to do that now. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. The next item I have is just an update on the fiscal year 22 budget. At the end of February, we're on target with our expenditures. We're 66% through the fiscal year. We've expended 68% of our operating budget, which is normal. One area continues to see concern continues is road salt. We budgeted fiscal year 23. We saw an increase of 44% in salt costs for fiscal year 23. We are currently 2% or $65,000 over budget in salt. That is a mix of everything stuck on a boat, and we had issues shipping things in, the cost there, and inflation. And two, we haven't had, again, knock on wood, we haven't had the blizzards or the snow. We've had these ice storms or the rain, which is, as I've said many times, the Public Works would rather have snow than rain, because rain turns to ice and they have to be out there longer. So that costs additional as well. Another area of concern right now, of course, which for everybody is gas and oil prices. As we're all aware, with the rate of inflation and the ongoing war in Ukraine, oil prices have skyrocketed. Our current paving contract is only good until June, and it can be adjusted beforehand due to huge fluctuation in oil prices. We're currently monitoring the situation, but we're anticipating less road paving projects and increasing construction costs this year. We don't have an infinite pool of money for paving, so we'll have to go back and reprioritize what we need to do. With new road coming up, that's probably going to be number one, so that's going to be done first, and then we'll have to push things off if we don't have any additional funds. Revenues are doing okay. We're still below where we should be with motor vehicle registrations. Again, due to the pandemic and inflation, people aren't buying new cars, or cars aren't available for people to buy. So we're just not seeing the rate of new registrations that we would have in the past. However, building permits are much higher than last year. Just letting the council know, I have reached out to the 3 councilors-elect. Councilor Ward is already here, and we'll be holding an orientation session next Tuesday evening with them to go over all the ins and outs of being a town councilor. I will do an abbreviated version for the entire council of the presentation in April. As part of that, also be going over some of the new rules, because this will be our last meeting with Novus Agenda. We'll have a new software program that's more intertwined with our website. So you'll still have digital packets, it's just a new package. One of the things that does not have is request to speak. So counselors would need to make sure you raise your hand to speak. One of the things we're having issues with is counselors speaking over each other, and we can't get the record, we can't, when it comes to recording, it's difficult for the recording secretary if you don't raise your hand and acknowledge by the chair. the Director of Environmental Services has informed me that the system development charges for water and sewer study is complete. This would replace the current water and sewer impact fee system. We're going to be reviewing it shortly, and we'll have a presentation for the town council. I should have an announcement on my appointment for the new Director of Planning and Community Development early next week. The individual has accepted, and now we're hammering out an employment agreement. Pursuant to the town charter, I appoint, but the council confirms my appointment by a vote. So that would be on the April 6th meeting. That being said, also, not in my report, but you should have received an email, but that may change from your email today. It was a goal-setting session for the town council scheduled for April 13th. However, that was also scheduled for our joint meeting with the school board. So we're going to try to figure out who's going to be on April 13th and what we're going to switch for another date. And finally, I just want to thank Councilor Kuiper for his service these past 3 years. It's been fun working with you, and I know I'll see you around the community, and anything you need, you know where I'm located. And best of luck, especially with the statue. Anything you need there, I'll help out. That's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the town manager regarding his report or the department reports? Councilor Kuiper.
Any move on a building inspector?
We're going to wait for the new person to come in, and they're going to lead the search, because we're going to restructure the way it is.
Yeah.
That person's now just going to oversee the building inspector or in code enforcement. And it's more common in communities that the code enforcement officer is actually the zoning administrator. Our former individual was also the zoning administrator, but that's one of the reasons why we're making the position full-time, so they can focus on that. The code enforcement can be involved with the zoning board, so I want the new person to build the team.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I did just want to say congratulations to the fire department on the new truck. Will there be, a new fire truck is kind of a big deal. Will there?
Yes, it'll be. We were planning on having town council touch a truck.
Ooh.
So, probably at the next meeting, so you will all be able to see it.
Awesome.
Score.
You get to turn the lights on.
Yeah. We'll bring you little plastic helmets too.
All my questions have been answered. No, I did have one other question. I have to see what it was. It was regarding our IT department and Channel 13, actually. So I'm trying to scroll through. The question about the troubleshooting and the audio. I know that I personally have had a hard time hearing the meeting audio while watching on my computer. So I know that has been an issue for some meetings. So I did want to just mention that. I've heard from a number of people that they have had issues with the audio. So I don't know if that's the only issue that there is. I will say that recently, I think with the new microphones, it seems to be better in my experience.
And that's one thing I think for up here, speaking of which, Councilor Conley, your mic's not on.
Oh, your mic's not on. Again?
I think they turn themselves off sometimes.
I'm gonna ask the Director of Finance Administration to actually look to see if we should hardwire mics in here again. If that's an option, just to make sure we can have it all the time. And I know they're trying to figure out every aspect of why is the audio not working at great, to the point where I know Comcast has gone to individual homes to see if it's something on that end. So.
And obviously with our budget having passed, and I know that was a full-time Channel 13 director was in the budget, and so the new budget doesn't go into effect obviously until July 1, so you have to hold off? Or
we do.
Okay.
That being said, today I talked to the Director of Finance Administration, come up with a job description to put in for the new position to upgrade it. Coincidentally, also been writing the job description for the town engineer, so I can have that individual start on July 1. And also we're going to be issuing an RFP for the salary survey study that we're going to conduct this soon. I want to get it going. I don't want to wait till July and then take another 3 months. I'd rather be ready for July 1 when the budget goes into effect.
Great. Seeing no other hands up, I will move on to committee reports. Are there any committee reports? Councilor Blackstone.
So the planning board met yesterday. There were 2 open positions in the election. Nobody was running for it, so we had a write-in. And unfortunately, some of the write-ins wouldn't pass residency, like Tom Brady and Peter Pan. But the winner was Patrick Reynolds and Eric Botterman. Eric has been the chairman of the department for a long time. And Patrick is formally, I guess, as of next meeting, he will no longer be chairman of the Conservation Commission. So we had a party called Seacoast Pool and Plastic. They're on 150 Wadley Falls Road. They're trying to put in a facility there. We've gone through several iterations. They came with engineering and with a number of variances. We approved all the variances but one. So they're going to come back next month, and hopefully that'll finish that. Eversource was there. Eversource has tagged about 50 trees on Bay Road for removal. The removal of these trees will be over the next couple of months. They will review these trees with Rick Melansky and with any homeowners. But if anyone's interested, you can drive down Bay Road, and the trees to be removed have ribbons on them. And if you have any question, you can call Eversource. And then a Newmarket resident named Sean McGowan purchased the depot, which is officially called the Bingham Junction Station, about 5 years ago. He's an avid dirt biker, and he bikes around, and so he thought the building should be preserved. So I don't know the whole story, but he said he bought it just to make sure nobody tore it down. He recently tried to sell the building. Nobody bought it. So now he's going to, the foundation of the building is being pushed in by hydraulic pressures. He's going to pick the building up and move it about 50 or 75 feet back into the lot and put it on a new foundation. He's going to put in a garage, and he's going to put in parking spaces. The deed to that property does not allow access to trails or any parking, right? So right now, a lot of people park there and use the trails, right? So there has been discussions about putting a parking lot in. The building is literally on the line, like part of the building's actually in Newfield. And there's a discussion about putting a parking lot across from the railroad tracks in the Newfield side, which would be used for the trail people. But of course, it could also then be used by that building. And so he's trying to make a deal where they put the parking lot in, and in return, he will deed access to the trails through his property. He's apparently been working with Arlen Chafee on this, but I don't know if Arlen's still involved in that or not. So he's going to add a garage and parking and stuff, and he has a lot of plans for it. So that's it.
Great, thank you. Any other committee reports? Councilor Brayback.
I just wanted to share the Conservation Commission did meet last week. I was unable to attend, and I don't have minutes yet, so I'll bring those to the next meeting.
Thank you.
So the Arts and Tourism Committee did meet, I think, for the first time since November, apparently. I think I'm officially on the committee starting next meeting, but I can identify a couple of things. One of the things we're trying to do is to kind of shore up the members of the committee. It's a little bit thin right now, and so it's been challenging to get a quorum to be able to just get work done. And so the committee's focused on that. They did get an application that they approved, and they are in kind of, there's some talks with Amy Gigande, who's trying to plan something for this summer and is working with several different organizations on some kind of event that we'll have that will kind of include sort of an art focus. And there's some initial planning around participation in this kind of in this summer's kind of Arts in the Park concert series as well.
Great, thank you. All right, moving on. We have a few ordinances in the second reading, and so the first is, if I pull it up, Ordinance or Resolution 2021-2022-26, resolution appropriating $4,000 from the Technology Capital Reserve Fund to purchase new UPS devices for the town, and I would accept a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll move to approve resolution 2021-2022-26, purchase of new UPS devices for the town.
Second.
Did you?
It's what it is. We need backup power. We did lose one, so we had to purchase as an emergency. This is just allowing us to withdraw from the Capital Reserve Fund. Yeah, it's something we need.
Any questions? And typically,
those big batteries you see.
Okay.
Did you have a
Universal
question?
power source.
Okay.
Yep.
No,
Oh.
no. I know what those are. Like in my computer, we have a big power block. So if the power goes out, it has like 24 hours worth of power. So like your computer doesn't. You can use your computer for a bit. Yeah. I just imagine it's a bigger version of that.
And typically a purchase of this size would be under your jurisdiction, but because it's a withdrawal from the Capital Reserve Fund, then it needs the council to approve. So I am not seeing any other questions or comments, so if you could call the roll, please.
Councilor Brega? Aye. Councilor Craper?
Aye.
Councilor Blackstone?
Aye.
Councilor Ward?
Aye.
Councilor Connolly?
Aye.
Councilor Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And the next item we have is Resolution 2021-2022-27, the New Road Water Main and Drainage Improvements Project, and I would accept a motion to approve that.
I will make a motion to approve resolution 2021-2022-27, new road water main replacement and drainage improvements project award.
I'll second.
And we have Sean Craig here too.
It's hard to believe this is project number 5 out of 7 projects we started 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
This project is kind of, it's a unique project because it's multiple projects within one and multiple funding for one project. The project is to help relieve the drainage issue on New Road, and put in treatment and to put in an outfall to direct it out to the Lamprey River, and it's also to replace an old water main. The funding for it, we actually received 2 bids for it. Grenice & Sons was the lowest bid at $1.898 million, and $688,762 is for the water, and $1,209,976.50 is for the drainage. The funding for this is rural development for the water portion and community block grant. As you know, 2.5 years ago, we planned for these projects. The pandemic hit. We didn't. All these things got more expensive, and I got to thank Diane Hardy, which helped me get the additional $500,000 block grant for the water, and that was just money we don't have to pay back, which helped us get more projects. On the drainage portion, we have the SRF loan with 10% loan forgiveness for $1 million, and then the rest is going to be ARPA funds. What I'm looking for the town council to approve today is for the town manager to be able to enter into agreement with, and award it to Gurnese and Sons, and to approve the budget.
Are there any questions? I am seeing none. Oh, please.
Does ARPA pay you, how does ARPA pay?
It depends on the program.
Yeah.
I mean, is it like you spend the money and they give it back to you?
No,
or-
most of it's cash up front.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah.
Government funding is, my experience can be.
Depending on which program, it can
Right.
vary. You have to
Yeah.
really pay attention.
Yeah.
Seeing no other questions, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Brayback?
Aye.
Council Pieper?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And then the next item that we have is Resolution 2021-2022-28, the Bennett and Sewell Wells Improvements Project, and I would accept a motion to approve that resolution.
I'll move to approve Resolution 2021-2022-28, Bennett and Sewell Wells Improvements Project.
Seconded.
The Bennett and Sewell projects is to upgrade the Bennett and Sewell wells. However, these are the last two projects, and we're running out of money, so Bennett well was done as a bid alternate. If we have the money at the end, we will do it. We will have some money, I just don't know how much. So right now, I'm looking to award the Sewell well portion of the project. We received two bids. Northeast Earth Mechanics was the lowest bid at $997,667.50. And as part of this, I'm also looking to award the engineering to Underwood Engineers, who has done the design and all the work for the project, for $178,454,000, and to approve the budget for the entire project.
Any questions? Councilor Conley.
So,
Your mic.
Oh.
but y'all saw that, right?
Yep.
So the only project that's being funded through this particular resolution at this time is Sewell?
Yes.
Is that right?
And it's through rural development.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you all set? Okay. Just a quick question. Are you finding that the responses to bids has been the same? Like, are people really busy? Where's-
It's hit or miss. It really is, because, I mean, you look at New Road, we got 2 bids. This one, we received 4 bids, you know, and then another one, we get 1 bid. It's really unusual. But I do find that the contractors are extremely busy, and they're getting very picky on what they want to do.
Yep. I'm
So-
sure with all the funds that are becoming available.
Yes, yes, it's gonna get more and more difficult, so I think right now, Newmarket got lucky to get their projects done ahead, because you're gonna see all this money come out, and it's gonna be crazy.
Right.
So, one thing I will say, the meeting before last, we had the presentation on the energy. We just received the funds 2 days ago for those 50% matches on the water side.
Oh,
So,
That's fast.
yeah, we just had to get through that presentation, and then the offer came out. So,
Great. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Brayback?
Aye.
Council Pieper?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley? Aye. Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
thank you.
Thank you.
That must be bad.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause it just keeps going off.
So we have quite a few appointments this evening under new business, and so the first, is for Chris Blackstone, and that is an appointment to the Conservation Commission, and I would accept a motion to approve the appointment of Chris Blackstone to the Conservation Commission Doesn't say the period. So I'll leave it at that.
I'll make a motion to approve Chris Blackstone's application to the Conservation Commission.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Term expires.
Did I miss it?
It's on the agenda.
April 20.
Oh, that's right.
April 2025.
Yeah. 3
Okay.
years from. Yeah.
Thank you. And Chris Blackstone is in the audience. I don't know if you wanted to say anything or.
No, I just
Okay,
think that
you
it's
just
all
wanted
in good faith because your paperwork when you apply, it says you're encouraged to attend or whatever. So I wanted to follow all that and say hi and potentially thank you.
Great. Well, we appreciate you being here. Were there any questions or comments regarding Chris Blackstone's?
I would just comment, having been on the Conservation Commission with Chris Blackstone for a while now, that this show of good faith is very demonstrative of Chris Blackstone's work on Conservation Commission, as also outlined on the application. We would be lost without her, so please vote for her.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Raybeck?
Aye.
Council Clayton?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Well, I've heard great things about her, but I'm going to abstain.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley? Aye. Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
It took me a minute.
Yeah, it's off again, by the way.
Battery's probably dying.
Yeah.
How often do you change the batteries, though? Like, how often does it need new batteries?
We understand.
Okay, sorry.
The next item that we have is, or application that we have is for David Bell. Also, an appointment to the Conservation Commission, and I would accept a motion to approve that application.
I'll make a motion to approve David Bell's application to the Conservation Commission.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments regarding David Bell's application? Seeing none, if you could call the roll, please.
Council Raybeck?
Aye.
Council Clayton?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
The next is Eric Harder, and that is an application to the Library Board of Trustees with a term expiring March 2025. And I would accept a motion to approve that application.
I'll make a motion to approve the application.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, you call the roll.
Council Raybeck?
Aye.
Council Clayton?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conley?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
And then the next one is for Amy Nicholson, also the trustee of the Newmarket Public Library, and I would accept a motion to approve that application.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions or comments?
I am
Oh, please.
I am curious. I'm not quite sure how the trustee system works. The library is like a little bit separate. Are you able to explain?
I would ask.
I
our
guess
town
I
manager
don't. I need to know what you.
What is
The Board of Library Trustees are the board of directors for the library in town. We are unique, whereas we are a mill library, not a traditional library as set it up as in other municipalities, where library trustees would be elected. Since our library was set up by the mill and gifted to the town when the mill decided to no longer use it, it's stated in the deed that the Board of Selectmen in late 1800s were to appoint the Board of Trustees after they cease to exist. So that falls on the council. We have authority over the bottom line of the library. The reason why you have library trustees is because you didn't want politics to get involved in what kind of books are going to be provided. So you elected somebody to oversee the books, and that's why we have library trustees.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Very helpful.
Then there's also the Friends of the Library, which is a whole nother group.
Nothing to do with the town.
Right. Did we vote? No. Seeing no other comments, if you could call the roll.
Council Brayback?
Aye.
Council Pfeiffer?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conlon?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
All right. One more. We have Wayne Rosa, who is applying to be on the zoning board. And I would accept a motion to approve Wayne Rosa's application.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
I just want to say, Wayne Rosa has been on the ZBA for a long time. He was on it when I was on it 7 years ago, and I'm sure he had been on it for a long time before that. And I just think it's great that people like that kind of work quietly in the background, making sure that the system keeps working. And I'm happy to see him reapplying.
Awesome. Seeing no other comments, if you could call the roll.
Council Brayback?
Aye.
Council Pfeiffer?
Aye.
Council Blackstone?
Aye.
Council Ward?
Aye.
Council Conlon?
Aye.
Council Weinstein?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Was there any correspondence to the town council?
There was none.
And then any closing comments? Seeing none. Our next meeting is April 6th, and I will just one last time say thank you to Councilor Kuiper
Thank you.
for your service, and Councilor Sanders also, who has already left, but we really appreciate all the work that you've done. So with that, I will consider us adjourned.